All right, what is up? What is going on? I'm going to get straight into the read. Hopefully, I don't get any distractions. I was trying to do this when I wasn't going to have none. Hey, love. How are you? I hope all is well. Come on here for a quick read here. All right, let's see what's going on in this energy. This is a personal read. Well, that's good. You are doing good. Major shifts, major shifts. All right, let's see. All right, my name is Ari, the Healing Empress, aka the Fly Goddess. I don't even know if I said that or not. All right, pushing upward. All right, so something is moving forward. All right, so something I feel like it wasn't stuck and stagnant, but it was something that was moving real slow. Something that was moving real slow is getting ready to be, I feel like it's getting ready to be pushed forward. All right, so I feel like, you know how like I'm feeling warm up. All right, so spirit had to warm you up. It's some sort of warm up. All right. Fellowship community. All right, you're getting ready to a fellowship or something about the community. The community could be getting together. All right. Then you got opportunity and you got an opportunity coming. All right. So there's an opportunity approaching. And this could be somebody from the community. All right. The feminine energy is significant. Receptive supports. All right. So let's see. Let me see something. Let me see. Uh, Okay, someone is ready to accept some sort of new idea or is willing to accept some sort of new idea. All right, this could be a feminine energy or there's a feminine energy that's getting some sort of new idea. All right, great possession here. All right, it's a lot of money here. You could be this person that is receiving this idea. All right, you're getting ready to receive something. All right, this is great possession, great abundance, and damn, abundance came out again. All right, so you are closer to abundance than you know, or you are closer to whatever this is that you were waiting on than you motherfucking know. And I feel it. It's like right around the corner type of energy. Literally, it's right there in front of you type of energy. Small taming, all right, small progress. Remember, I was telling you, it was feeling like you was feeling stuck, but it's really not you feeling stuck, all right. It's really you moving on cruise control is what I'm hearing. All right, on cruise control. As you are moving on cruise control, you have a lot of never mind. Hold on, y'all. Make sure my flat iron is smooth. All right, so it's not like things are moving slow. All right, it's like spirit has you on cruise control. All right, spirit had you on cruise control, and while you were in that mode, God was fixing things around you. Yeah, motherfucking people and situations. All right, it's like spirit was putting the finishing touches on whatever belongs to you. All right. After completion. All right, so something's getting ready to happen. So again, you're getting ready to celebrate. But it's something about this community, all right? You may not be the community, may be the people that you hold dear to your heart. All right, great pressure. All right, so whatever this opportunity is, it may come with some sort of burden. I don't really feel like it's a burden. I feel like it's a little bit of pressure, but I feel like it's a pressure to leave the past behind. All right, you may be feeling like there's someone or there's some people that you gotta leave behind. You don't want to, but it's necessary. All right, the family ain't that about a bitch. All right, it's the family. It may be someone else in your family that you have to let go of because they're connected to somebody else. All right, spirit will show you. Spirit will show you. All right, duration, long term stability. Um, I feel like I said, you're in cruise control, and spirit is removing people from around you. People are showing face, and people are showing their ass. All right, great taming. While spirit is working on your abundance, spirit is working on your attitude. Spirit is working on how you react to things because that makes a difference as well. All right, and you're being delivered from freedom. I mean, delivered for freedom. You're being delivered. All right, deliverance. All right, freedom. You're receiving freedom. Deep emotional waters. Something's getting ready to happen that is going to allow you to you finna be in your emotions. All right. I'm feeling like a long time coming. Is what I'm hearing. All right. Grace, beauty, and refinement. All right. You make shit look easy, even though we all know this journey ain't easy at the fuck all. All right. What's going on? We know this journey is not easy at all. But at the same time, we still continue to push through. All right. We continue to push through. Increase of blessings, and then it says blessings growing. All right. Okay, love, I got you. Oh, all right. Did you? Yeah. I don't give a fuck about that. All right, that ain't got nothing to do with me. All right. All right, I got you, Diane. All right, Cauldron. Something's getting ready to change. Progress and advancement is here. Yes, ma'am. I got you. All right. Advancement, progress is here. All right. Work on decay. Fix what is broken. All right. Fix what is broken. Let me get this fuck nigga from out of here real quick because y'all deserve peace. I ain't got time. All right. Breaking barriers. All right, you're breaking through a lot of barriers. All right, you're doing things that people thought that you wouldn't be able to do. Me, like that motherfucker, I know how to block instead of just sitting here cursing your ass out repeatedly. All right, you're learning how to do new things. All right, waiting, patience before movement. All right, spirit has you at a standstill because God is critiquing some of the things about you, your attitude. All right, the way that you respond to things. All right, because a person of power has to move in a certain type of yes, love, I got you. I got you. I saw it. As soon as I finish, I'm gonna do your read for you. All right. Decreasing and letting go. All right, decreasing and letting go. A lot of people are letting go of a lot of shit. All right. When you let go of a lot of things, you bring in a certain type of energy. People, places, and motherfucking things. What's going on? Damn, how many times y'all gonna say, hey, what the fuck? I'm in the middle of a read. That's rude. All right. Um, you letting things go because you're letting different things in. When you let a certain vibration of people go, all right, then there's a new set of vibrational people that come in. All right. And prime example, I went up on my readings, right? So the normal people who used to get readings, they don't get readings anymore. All right. Because it's something about the next level vibrations. All right. A lot of people just pay to be in your fucking energy. All right. You're gonna see a lot of people doing crazy ass shit to be in your motherfucking energy. All right. Discipline and strategy. And this is why spirit is working with you on how you respond to shit, how you handle certain things. But spirit is showing you what happens when you elevate. All right. When you elevate. All right. Breakthrough. Major truth is being revealed. So there's some sort of major truth that's getting ready to be revealed. All right. Um, Innocence, pure intention. You have pure intentions when it came to somebody. All right. Modest and humility. All right. So you treat, I'm hearing down to earth. You treat people with respect. You treat people how you want to be treated. All right. Pure intentions. All right. But there is somebody who was moving around you who did not have pure intentions, and that shit is getting ready to come out. All right. Somebody is coming to meet, unexpected encounter. All right. Somebody could be telling you something, or somebody could be bringing you something. Either way, I feel like it's good news. All right. Either way, I feel like it's good news. You got peace and harmony here, strength rising. All right. Holding together, unity and alliance. All right. Blocks energy. It's something about you boosting your energy up. It automatically. You're very welcome, my love. It's something about you boosting your energy is blocking out the bullshit. All right, because when you elevate to a certain level, if something can't reach you. What's going on? Something can't reach you. Taylor. Would your first name begin with a D? All right. Revolution, radical change is here. All right. So it's a radical change that's getting ready to happen. All right. What you thought was blocked is being released. It was never blocked. All right. God just had you on cruise control. You're getting ready to walk into a joyous time. All right. You got happiness and open. Oh, okay. What's going on, love? I hope all is well with you guys today. All right. I hope some manifestations start showing the fuck up today. All right. Before completion. So something's getting ready. So it's almost like before you completed a cycle, Spirit showed you something. All right. There's a new cycle that's here. There's a new cycle that's here. Inspired action. It's something that is something, whether it's some sort of conversation or some sort of nudge that is going to give you some sort of inspired action. It's like a boost, something that's going to make you really want to do something. All right. It's like a little extra bit of motivation. Thank you, love. All right. Contemplation, observe, and reflect. You're just paying attention to people right now. All right. If they don't give you good vibes and if they're not bringing any goodness to you for its energy, you're not fucking with them. All right. Small ponderance. All right. The well, spiritual source, duration, long-term stability. All right. Gathering together, community power. All right. So a lot of shit is coming together for you. But when I hear community, I don't even feel like it's people walking this earth. All right. I feel like it's spirits. It feel like spirit is jumping bodies and assisting with a lot of shit right now. All right. Let me see. 10 more minutes on this reading. All right. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of ancestors jumping bodies to make something happen for you because it's like, okay, is now it's like something is being escalated. All right. So you were never behind. Something is being escalated in your life. All right. Walk away. It's a lot of people that you're getting ready to walk away from. All right. Not all choices are meant to be fixed. All right. Just all choices aren't good choices. Just like all money is not good money. All right. It's a hard yes. All right. So whatever this is that's getting ready to happen for you, you're getting ready to walk away from a lot of people. Baby, it's a hard yes. All right. This is right, even if it's a stretch. All right. Yes, this is. If you are interested in a reading, you can definitely book. All right. And I can do a separate video for you and send it to your email so you'll always have it. No, you're fine. All right, decisions is here. All right, so there's some sort of decision that had to be made. You're choosing yourself. All right, pick the option that doesn't require self abandonment. Whatever option that is placed in front of you, you have to think about your path. All right, whatever the opportunity is that is approaching you, you're gonna have to ask yourself, will this make me abandon everything that I work hard for? Thank you, love. Um, will this change everything that I work hard for, or is it still going as planned? That's how you know if you're going to move forward with that decision or not. Crossroads. A choice is asking you to define yourself. All right. If you have cleaned up your life far as toxins, alcohol and all of that shit, you are not going to place yourself around a bunch of motherfucking alcoholics. You're not going to place yourself around a bunch of people who are waiting for the weekend to get fucked up. All right. Um, that doesn't define who you are. The people who you hang around defines who the fuck you are. I don't care what nobody say. You know how they say birds of a feather flock together? I used to disagree with that shit because I used to hang with some fucked up people. But at the same time, it'll bring fucked up shit into your life. You may not do the same shit that they motherfucking do because a sin is a sin. All right? You may not do the same shit that they do, but it keeps you in a certain energy. You know what I'm saying? So you can't hang with hoes trying to get married. Okay? You can't do that. You have to walk in the light that you want to be in. You know what I'm saying? All right. Open door. This path is available to you now, all right? Because you walked away from some shit, all right? Because you walked away from some shit, things are available for you now, all right? It's a hard yes, all right? Earn trust. Somebody had to earn your trust. This is building in a real way, all right? So you may have to start over in a situation when it comes to, okay, I don't trust you. How we gonna start this shit back, all right? We gotta. It's something about you learning. You're learning somebody. You hear them sirens? 1218. All right, your ancestors is definitely working in your favor to bring some sort of wish fulfillment in. All right, you are being balanced and abundance is coming your way. All right, you're using your intuition like crazy, and two is being in the right place at the right time for you to be receiving any of this. All right, read the patterns. All right, you're choosing yourself. One moment can lie, but a pattern rarely does. Meaning you can lie to me one time, okay. All right. Oh, that was a moment. But when you do that shit constantly, it's who you are. All right. So trust what you're saying. Trust what you see. All right, decisions. All right, stay and build. Some things are worth staying and not fleeing. All right, and this could very well be a relationship. All right, we've spoken on this before. All right, a lot of times spirit has to separate you from somebody so that you can learn your worth, and spirit is doing the same thing to another person as well. Also, sometimes a person has to be without you. All right, a person has to be without you to realize who the fuck you is. All right, and that's why we have no problems letting people go and giving their ass to God. All right. And this could be a situation that you got going on or a situation that you had going on. All right. Peace is the sign. Clarity often feels calm and not dramatic. And by the way, these are my cards. I wrote these cards. All right. Peace is the sign. Clarity often feels calm, not dramatic. All right. When something is chaotic, you know something is wrong. If something makes you feel off and uneasy, then something is wrong. That's your body trying to tell you something. Emotional attachments. All right. Attachment may be clouding your judgment. All right. So hang with the wrong people. That shit will cloud the fuck out of your damn judgment. All right, it'll have you making bad motherfucking decisions and you don't even know fucking why. It's the people that you're choosing to be around. All right, rose colored lens. All right, you are softening the truth to keep a dream alive. All right, that's what you used to do. And that was a red flag. All right. False urgency. Be careful of people trying to come into your energy. This has been coming out a lot because a lot of people are scared because of the dumbass shit that they done did to your ass. All right. And people coming at you with some sort of sense of urgency. It ain't. They ass catching karma, and you are their karmic relief. You're not doing that shit. You are their karmic motherfucking relief. And that's why they want to be in your goddamn face because they know you absorb everything. Well, if I go around them, I know they'll take this bullshit up off of me. Absolutely not. Sit in it, bitch. All right. No response is a response. Silence can be an answer too. All right. Silence can definitely be an answer. Learning how to walk away from motherfuckers. All right. Pick the most peaceful option. If you got to block motherfuckers to keep your peace, block them. I ain't arguing with no motherfucking body. All right? I don't give a fuck who it is. All right? The calmer path may be the wiser one. All right? So whatever the option is that you're getting ready to choose, let it be the most peaceful one. If it don't bring you fucking peace, and if it bring you chaos, it's a fuck no. Get out my way. All right? Delay the decision. Um, you do not have enough clarity yet. All right. So it's something that you were trying to weigh out. All right. You had to wait on some sort of clarity. You had to wait to see something. I'm hearing patience, and you did that. All right. And you're seeing things for what they are. Boundary test. It was all about boundaries. All right. Sometimes people like to see how far they can go with you. Some people like to see how far they can go with your ass. All right, 1222. All right. Oh, that's a lot of tools being in the right place at the right time. I just feel like you are where you need to be at this time. Green flags. All right, you're supported. This move has spiritual and energetic backing. All right. So whatever this move is that you're getting ready to make, baby, the universe is backing you. All right. Something about your inner knowing. Discern, do not absorb. Everything around you is not yours to carry. All right. So always learn that, especially being a fucking empath. All right. We tend to feel like we got to take on everybody's shit. No, the fuck we don't. All right. Even when having conversations with people, you help them and then you get up out that motherfucking energy. Don't sit in that energy with them. I have to do that all the time. I help a lot of people who be going through shit, but I can't sit in the energy that they be sitting in. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't want them to sit in that motherfucking energy. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna transmute that shit into something great, either rather into a message or some goddamn money, or a project which brings money. All right. Let's see. I like this read. These reads are even changing. All right. The energy is totally different. And this is how I know that you are in a different energy. All right. So they know that you're a star. You already knew you was a motherfucking star. All right. They are finding out that you are a star. You're stepping out of your comfort zone. All right. You're stepping out of your comfort zone. It's exactly what you think it is. All right. It's exactly what you think it is. Mm-hmm. All right, so spirit has been giving you little notions. All right, choosing you. Hold on, y'all. Let me respond to this. Okay. All right, choosing you. Y'all can hear me? Want to make sure. All right, you're choosing you. You're choosing yourself. You're not waiting on nobody to motherfucking choose you. Somebody thought that they had you at the last moment. You broke free of a situation, and this could be just broke free of. You could have just broke free of an old mindset. All right. Somebody wanted to keep you in an old mindset. All right. Somebody wanted to keep you in an old mindset. All right. Somebody is mad. They mad at God though. They ain't mad at you. Shit. God wrote your destiny. You're getting ready to receive. You're getting ready to receive. All right, moving in your own home. All right, so you're getting ready to move into your own home. It's something that somebody did on purpose. All right, I'm feeling like God did something on purpose. All right, God made somebody think that they were winning the situation or think that they were in control of the situation and snatch some shit from somebody. All right, the battle is over. These motherfuckers can't fuck with you. They can't fuck with you. The battle is over. All right, it's something about your son and the masculine is catching up quick. All right, so a masculine may be catching up quick because they're thinking about their children. All right, they're thinking about their son. All right, they're thinking about being in these children and being in someone's life. All right, they know it's you. Somebody know that it's you. Somebody is going to show you their real feelings. All right, surprise. So somebody is definitely changing. All right, dream date. I'm hearing you put your foot on somebody's neck. All right, somebody had a dream about you, and somebody could have had a dream that you were moving forward. All right, with or without their ass. All right, and now things are coming into play. You are owed a lot of money, and you're getting ready to receive it. All right. Somebody was talking shit behind your back, but being caught. All right. I don't know. People be talking shit, acting like that shit ain't coming back to you, or they want it to come back to you so that they can say, so that you can say shit, but you're completely ignoring people at this time. All right. Never work again is your goal. All right, because you're getting ready to create something that earns income, but you're doing it in a different way. You're doing it in a big way, in an unconventional way. All right. The way they love you is crazy. All right. They can't handle your energy. All right. And they got to release money and property to you. Whatever they were trying to hold from you, they have to give it to you now. All right. These motherfuckers trying to hold out, but they can't. You got a money call coming towards you. Texas is significant. All right, you got good people involved right now. People are releasing shit that belongs to motherfuckers. Do you understand me? All right. You set all of your haters down. All right. You set all of your haters down. And this is something that you don't see coming because it's something coming into your life and you don't really see it. All right. Literally way more than you ever expected. All right. Surprises for you. You got good shit coming. All right. It's a swift, quick change getting ready to happen in your life. And somebody finna pass away, but you're finna get money. Remember, I kept saying that bodies is dropping and bags is too. Well, it's been so much confirmation when it comes to bodies dropping. All right. And it's been so many confirmations of bags dropping. All right. So it's people are receiving new shit, finally feeling free. All right. And popping up. Something can be popping up in your life. Something can be popping off in your city. Somebody knows that you are already wealthy. Now, why would they know that? Because they probably helped steal some shit. All right, and that is your reads. All right, if you have any questions about your read, let me know. Email me. All right. And let's see. I'm gonna get you Miss Diane. You ready? Let's see. 2518. Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I keep saying, hearing that Rod Wave song alone in my jail cell. Somebody must be getting locked the fuck up. Diane, you still here? Somebody getting locked up. Ooh. Spirit is saying contemplate. Contemplation, observe and reflect. Spirit wants you to pay attention to something. All right. Standing still, energy blocks. Deliverance. All right. You're getting ready to be delivered from something. All right. It's a whole bunch of deliverance happening. All right. You could be being delivered from an old mindset. All right. Grace and beauty and refinement. There's some sort of opportunity coming your way. All right. Yeah, this transformation coming your way. All right. So something's changing for you. Something is changing for you. Let's see what this says. Something is changing. What is changing? All right. If you are interested in your own personal video, please let me know. All right. On the spots are $22. All right. And love readings are $15.15. Yes or no questions are $8.88. All right. Something's getting ready to. I heard rebirth, renewal. Somebody's gonna pass away as well. Somebody's gonna pass away, or something's getting ready to be renewed in your life. Well, I feel like both. Shit. Somebody took a gamble and did something. All right. Spirit is taking over. There's a message coming your way. All right. Spirit is getting ready to take over. All right. It could be somebody projecting, doing some sort of projection spells at this time as well. So just continue to walk with your head high. All right. There's something coming together when it comes to two people in art. All right. Two people are feeling the same. Two people are coming together. All right. There's unexpected money here and romantic feelings. Romantic feelings. All right. Separation is here. All right, main male. Main male. So there's a main male that's coming in with some sort of information. There's a main male coming in. Wow, what in the world is it? All right, with a lot of communication. All right, there could be some sort of there's some sort of inheritance here. All right, something about a mother. Somebody's receiving something. It could be from a mother, or you are the mother. All right. Somebody wanted to. Whoever this codependency person is, this person wanted to be a part of your motherfucking energy. All right, but they not just part of your energy. They wanted the things that came with your energy. All right, abundance, celebration. Something is moving in your favor. All right, because somebody was doing some sort of spell work, but something went in your favor. All right, hold on. Something went in your favor. All right, lessons and blessings is here. All right. Somebody was trying to do something strategic in the background to try to take something. All right. Somebody didn't want you to nurture something when it comes to your life. Somebody didn't want you to have the key to something, but you're receiving the key to something. All right. With key to new life is what I'm hearing. A key to new life. All right. Somebody's wearing a mask. All right. This could be a feminine energy that's wearing a mask. Or you could be cloaking what you're doing. All right. You could be hiding what you're doing. Not really hiding, but you're just keeping it to yourself. All right. Somebody's scared. Why are they scared? New love. It's safe to love. Somebody doesn't I don't maybe you got new love coming in. You said my abuser is locked up now. Whoa, for real? What the fuck? Wow. Good. That's what the fuck they need to be. Wow. Spirit wants you to stay optimistic. All right. Someone's whoever was being sneaky in the background. Something is coming out. Some sort of secret. All right. Somebody chose the wrong option. Love life is here. There's a gift coming your way. You got some sort of message coming your way. Finances. All right. Something. There's finances here. All right, transportation, something getting ready to change. You could be getting ready to change location because you have the finances to do so. All right, I'm here making the effort, retreat. You're getting ready to go somewhere. All right, there's a mature man here. All right, when it comes to a home and loyalty, what you got going on? Okay, somebody wants to solidify something. All right, monk none. Somebody could be staying to themselves right now. Right now, somebody wants a new beginning. All right, spirit is wanting you to love yourself. All right, so you got a new beginning that's coming your way. Things are different in your life. All right. Let's see. You're getting some sort of spirit is giving you some sort of nudge. All right, when it comes to something, or like throughout the day, you could be getting like little messages, and you're trying to put them together. All right. Somebody took a gamble. Somebody passing away. Somebody did something bad. Somebody did something. Let's see. Other cards. Destruction right on the top. Somebody wanted to cause you some sort of destruction, and somebody caused themselves some destruction. All right, unexpected money, and it has everything to do with unexpected money. All right, somebody don't like the fact that you love yourself. All right, emotional stability. There's some sort of balance happening. All right, whoever was trying to comfort you, I told you somebody was trying to fuck up your love life. All right, there's a tower moment here because you're receiving something, collaboration. You're coming together with an emperor. God damn. All right, so somebody wanted to destroy something in your life. Somebody wanted to destroy a new beginning. All right, and this could very well be family. All right, yeah. Oh shit, yeah, it was family. Family betrayed you. Don't nobody betray you like family. They be the best at that shit. The fuck. All right, you are a divine feminine. All right, they wanted to betray you. Imagine that with false narrative. All right, so this family was talking shit behind the scenes. All right, and these people were talking shit because you probably don't deal with their ass no more. All right, karmic masculine could be significant. All right, somebody didn't want you to celebrate, so a family member could have came together with a karmic of yours. All right, somebody is surprised with the outcome though. All right, because they're emotionally and damn, I can't even talk. Emotionally and mentally fucked up. All right, they thought they wanted this for your path. Absolutely the fuck not. All right. It's a community of motherfuckers. All right. This is family members. You could also be getting ready to celebrate with a community of people. All right. Your community, the people who you call family. And look, that manifestation coming true, ain't it? It's like your spirit knows something. It's like your spirit knows something. You can see something. What the fuck? Oh my God. I talked about this a while back and I said that, when these motherfuckers get locked up, that literally something was gonna change to where you were gonna have to testify. And that was gonna change a lot of shit. Because see, your ancestors is working with you. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna know exactly what to say to balance some shit out in your life. Judgment is here. That motherfucker, ooh, judgment. Conflict is here. Mature woman, the world. Somebody mad because you're ending a cycle. Third party, no more feeling trapped. Investments, all right. Long term vision, manifestation and legal. Oh baby, this is gonna come out. This is definitely gonna go out and come out in your favor. All right, this is definitely coming out in your favor. And on top of that, Spirit is blessing you for standing up for yourself. All right. Continue to be unbothered. All right. Continue to be unbothered. Spirit is blessing you for, oh, girl, I got the chills. Spirit is blessing you for being unbothered. All right. Movement is here. Competition. Mm-mm-mm. Travel, change, communication. Hey, my love. All right. New beginnings is here. Thank you, girl. I gotta talk to you. I ain't talked to you in a minute. Gotta let you breathe, let you live. But just know what we talked about, as far as like what our path was meaning, and like how we had to see certain things when it come to boundaries. Bitch, you was right on it. You was right on it because all I'm gonna say is guess who back? All right, death, rebirth. So we will motherfucking talk, all right? Karma. Just know everything is going in our favor. All right, the fool, the new beginning, abundance, and clarity. Look at this shit. Oh Lord. So I was like literally, you're gonna love to read, I promise you. All right. The fool, abundance, clarity, new ideas, mental powers, and truth and breakthroughs. All right. So everybody's journey is different. All right. You have to learn to stand up for yourself. All right. You had to learn to stand up for yourself. In a few minutes, hey, that curling eye might be a flat eye might be a little high. I got to go out the door in a few minutes. All right. You had to learn some things. You had to learn to stand up for yourself. All right. Yeah, you stood up for yourself, but spirit wanted you to stand up in a different way, like cutthroat stand up for yourself. All right. Because you had all this abundance coming in and you was just gonna let people run over you. You was. All right. And it's not that you were doing it intentionally, it's because you got a good ass heart. All right. Main idea, clarity, mental power, truth. All right. You're learning the truth about a situation. All right. Yeah. You stand up for yourself in the right way. And sometimes shit, it ain't pretty. What's going on? Sometimes it's not fucking pretty, but you have to be disgustingly nasty with it sometimes. All right, because some people just don't fucking get it. All right, you got to tell people where to go sometimes. All right, success, joy, positivity, and it's not you say what you got to say, and then you're back in your mode. You're happy. People don't understand how you can motherfucking great. People don't understand how you can cuss their ass out and then smile. Easy. Do it all the fucking time. All right, just because I cuss you out don't mean I'm in no bad way. I'm telling you how the fuck I feel, and I'm using curse words. Okay. All right. I want you to feel what the fuck I'm saying. I don't want it to be no misunderstandings. That's why I use curse words. Okay. Because you know you can't misunderstand somebody when they cursing your ass the fuck out. All right. You know exactly what the fuck it is. All right. Determination, perseverance, and resilience. All right. Now is your time to shine, Miss Diane. All right. Now is your time to shine because I mean technically you already won. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for you to it's time for you to basically be called in the spotlight so people can see who you really are. Okay? Um, let's see. What I say? Sometimes you gotta be a little cold cutthroat. All right? Ice queen. Stand firm on the shit that you say. You got this. All right. This is your time to basically. This is if you only have one shot. What's that? If you only have one shot, what is that Eminem song? You only get one shot. All right. It's your chance. Okay. It's your fucking chance. You're gonna use that bitch to the best of your ability, and watch how God bless you and watch how good you're gonna feel. All right, new beginnings, love, emotional clarity, and spiritual awakening. All right, in the distant future. I'm telling you, something's getting ready to happen for you. Really, really nice. All right. And this is because you chose to love yourself. All right. You decided to have wisdom. You decided to use that wisdom because, you know, we be knowing shit, but we don't want to use it. All right. And you put an end to, look at this shit. You put an end to, look at you putting an end to shit. Transition, endings. Things are becoming new for you. Expectations. All right. And because you are putting an end to your past, look at there. The emperor's coming in. Nah. You got hella shit coming your way because you are choosing to stand up for who the fuck you are. All right. Let me see real quick. What does she got coming for her? Let me use this real quick. What she got coming for her? Something about a niece in Florida, or you could be going to Florida. Just know that you are protected by darkness. All right. You are protected by darkness, so nothing can come against you at all. All right. Clear communication coming in. All right. Somebody was paid off. A Libra is significant. Personal growth is here. All right. So you're gonna realize by the certain things you do, personal growth. It changes the directory of your motherfucking entire life. All right. God is getting ready to show you and everybody else who the fuck you really is. All right. So the people who doubted you, okay, that's fine. God is fixing to show you your next move too. All right. West is significant. You could be moving. All right. Somebody is wanting to build or extend some sort of family when it comes to you. All right. Somebody asking about you. All right. You getting ready to sign something, or somebody's getting ready to sign something. All right. I see dead people. All right. You got, oh, as soon as I did that, my nose itch. All right. So you got a lot of spiritual beings around you. All right. People was doing shit under the moon, getting fucked up and caught. Okay. Exactly. All right. Libra is here. Speaking of balance. Libra is here. There's definitely balance coming to your life. Somebody's spying on you. Remember, I told somebody asked about you. All right, so you got love interest coming your way. All right, if you're not in a relationship, you got a love interest coming your way. If you are in a relationship, something is getting ready to get deeper. All right, money call is here. Your hard times are over. Fun times are here. Somebody who thought that they was finna drown you in sorrow and misery, they are drowning. Look at this car, my baby Drew. Somebody drowning. The fuck. All right, drowning. They tried to unalive you, but look. Now they're drowning in bullshit. Somebody aborted something and lied about it. All right, doing somebody is doing something that you thought that they never would do. So somebody's watching you, somebody who's interested, or somebody just wants to make you feel good about a situation. All right. Come on now. A motherfucking emperor, a DM. All right, and this is look at and this is after the legal matters. Now, ain't that some shit? 10-10 at the top. Come on now. Whatever you want is whatever you get. Whatever you're asking for, you're getting ready to get. Girl, why the fuck am I finna cry? Moving into a big home. All right. There's a lot of shit that's happening for you. All right. Somebody pulling on your energy. All right. Continue to walk through the day saying, I call back all of my energy, seen and unseen. All right. A baby father could be significant. All right. Call back your energy. Date night, somebody could want to go. Look, it's baby daddy's trying to come back into the picture, just to let you know. All right, date night out. And literally somebody texted me and told me they baby daddy asked them out on a date. All right. And sometimes it ain't for you to have anything with them, but it's for you to see that they changed. All right. That's all. Somebody owe you. Watching your lives and your social media. Somebody watching you. Plot twist. Somebody scared of you, but they still love you. All right. You were right about the family. All right. So you were right about a situation. Something is coming to fruition when it comes to you. All right. Doing something that you can't resist. Somebody want to work together with you, and somebody is drinking heavy now because they know they can't fuck with you. A real estate agent is significant, and somebody is finding out that a child is not theirs, but somebody is seeing something your way. All right. Like I said, somebody wants to build a family with you. All right. And that is your read. If you want me to send you this video, all right, email me and then I'll send you the video and I'll send you the timestamp. All right. 28, 20, 25, 18. All right. And that is your reading 911 to the top. All right. Master manifestors. All right. We are master manifestors. We get the fuck we want. We got to act like it. All right. All right. Is there anybody else? Oh, damn, I'm gonna get off real quick anyways. All right. If you are looking for a read, all right, do you still have my email address? Diana? That way I can send you your read. And that way if you want to go back and look at it, you can. Whoop whoop. All right. Well go I'm trying to go on my previous video if you don't have my email address. All right, and it's mermaid Ariel 1983. Mermaid ARIEL 1983 at gmail.com. All right. And I will be back in about 20 minutes. See you guys.